I said $1 billion. Oh yeah, that's 1 billion. When you count 1 billion, you will realize that I did all the calculation anyway. But the number of minutes you have in your life is not up to 1 billion. So if you are counting 1 billion, you are physically counting 1 billion. You will be counting until you die. You are just like 1, 2, 3, 4. You will not finish counting 1 million in years. So just imagine you now say 1 million. What 1,000 million is 1 billion. So you now say it's dollar. It's not even naira. You now carry $1,000 million.
What do you want to use it for?
What do you want to use it for? $1 million right now. $1 million.
They don't have investment. They don't have any reproduction. They're not producing anything in Nigeria.
In anywhere.
That will benefit.
In anywhere that will benefit anybody in this world.
But there are people who say making the movie are like, no, what is it going to do? They'll play it down. But I'm like, no, this is an opportunity for me to invest. If we crash, both of us will sit down and cry together. But if it succeed, at least I didn't write the movie.
Yeah.
But I can invest in the movie and make money. That is how we should see ourselves.
Let me not interrupt you. But I just before I lose this thought, see, when you play on each other's strengths, like I know his strength, he knows my strength, and I complement that strength. I don't have that, but I can do something to support here. Like he just said now, oh, I can't write, but I can put this there. If that's how we do as human beings, man, we won't be here.
That's what is lacking in Nigeria.
We won't be here. You understand?
Yeah.
And I said something in this book. I said the funny thing is that it's not just intertribal. It's the same interracial. You understand? Yes. Interracial is for, and I think I can say this now without any fear of offending anybody. At least this, we're all on the same side when we're talking about racism, right? So like, if, for instance, a white person sees a black person, there's something they say you call them lazy, but they're the one farming your land for you. They won't clean your house. You call them dirty. They are the one cleaning your house for you. You call them immoral. They are the one raising your kids for you. I think this was more of a South African thing where the white people look at the black people and say they are this. But at the same time, these are the people cleaning your house, cooking your food. But they are dirty, right? The point is that you don't really care about facts when it comes to that ego-centric. It doesn't matter. Fact doesn't matter. Reality doesn't matter. So they find that why are black people faster than white people? And then you go into the gymnastic of it. When they were enslaving the black people, they took only the strong one. That's why they're still faster. But why are those people back in Africa still faster though? So now you know what the person making this argument is not going to want to address that. He's going to go into what they call a logical fallacy, which is another area entirely of argument. By not addressing what you're saying, they use that one of those logical fallacy technique and they feel from the answer, just move on. Because when you come to reality, egocentrism doesn't hold water. But people don't do reality. People don't. They just focus on emotion. Black, white. And some people will say, what have you infected? But like black people, what have you infected? This is a totally different topic. But if you don't know, you won't be able to answer that question, and you feel like contributed everything to this one. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you know, like I know, you say, "Oh, come on, shut up." The person who infected Blood Transfusion was a black soldier. The person who infected Okuna Soldier was a black. The lady who started the traffic guy was the soap. I think soap was they infected soap separately in India and in Africa. Around the same time, but differently. The lady who infected all these things they're using for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, is a black person. You understand? But if you don't know, they shot you. So that's the thing. So at the end of the day, you realize that nobody is better than anybody.
No, nobody. And just to say this finally, I know you might want to ask some other question. If you're ego-centered, it blinds you from reality.
Totally.
Yeah. Totally. And the danger is that it makes you so much engrossed in yourself that you can even kill people for yourself.
Yes.
To defend yourself that you are better. and then you begin to look for a reason why others should fail to prove yourself right.
Yeah.
At the end. And by that way, you can't get development in a country where somebody wants to prove some people wrong, and they will also do all they need to do
To sabotage.
just to fuel into that ego that, look, I'm better, I did it better.
And they will offer, they will deprive you of your rights and privilege. Your full privilege, they will deprive you because for instance, I think they said a lot in the book, and one of the things is that when somebody, I mean, a represent, let's say I'm the head of this building here, and another person walk there, say I'm looking for a job, and I look at him, say, I don't trust these people, and and then another Yoruba guy walked to him, probably not as qualified as the Hausa guy. Like, I'm having to more with this guy, so I gave the job to that unqualified person because of my egocentric view. Why didn't I trust this person? I have no reason not to trust this person.
Yeah.
I have no reason. His feelings, and most of the time, emotions are wrong. Just based on feelings. I feel it somewhere. Guy, are you thinking it or feeling it? Those are totally different things.
Yeah. Are you feel like you said? Are you feeling it? Feeling emotions can actually be very destructive. But when you begin to bring it to logical reasoning, I begin to ask yourself why. You know, when I came to the UK, I saw how they use what they call reflective practice. And I was like, wow, this is quite good. When you sit down and you reflect on your own behavior and actions and your practice, and then you ask yourself, could I have done it better? Is there something I would have done to make the life of my patient or my client better?
Lacking need.
When you begin to do that, you begin to challenge yourself
to be better.
To be better. But the moment that is lacking, you feel you are the Lord and King, and every other person is wrong. When anybody gets to that stage, they've stopped thinking. What they are doing is that they're already engrossed in their own ego. Yeah. And they can't bring out different heads.
You know, there's nothing that can come out there. No new thing can come out. And if anybody is trying to bring any idea, they're going to silence that person. Who are you? What do you know? So that would be the thing. So that would be the question that you won't be able to answer, because this is ego talking, not racism.
And even though we're talking about the Nigeria problem, but this topic on egocentrism or the word, it's universal.
It's a universal stuff. It's a university. Like most of the topic in this book are universal. And when we touch on chapters that are unique to Nigeria, and I'll be pointing that out, like that form of patriotism, it's not a Nigerian only problem. It's more of an African problem. And that's because most of African countries are created the same way that Nigeria was created. So we have that similar.
Every one African country, and one sub-Saharan African country that is doing well.
Don't say sub-Sahara. You could just extend it to the world of Africa. you could include the Arab African countries and all of them. No African countries actually in a favorable state right now. No African countries.
Let's try that. We just had another coup in Guinea-Bissau. I think Guinea-Bissau. Better, I think with the guy.
It's not Equatorial. It's one of the Guinea-Bissau. We have three of them, right?
I'm like, where would this really stop? Where would this end? The same people who accuse the civilian of something, they'll take over and they do worse.
So this is Suraju. I said this in this book, and I said it. I said I'm not clamoring for military intervention. That's just why. And what I also said is that I'm not clamoring for Nigeria to divide, and I'll tell you why now. And the reason I'm not clamoring for
Nigeria should not divide
is because see what you think the Hausas are doing to the Fulani, or the Fulani are doing to the Hausa or doing to the Yoruba right now. If we divide Nigeria into 20 countries, town A, we do it to town B. They are the same tribe. They're the same tribe.
Oyo, we do it to Kwara. Kwara, we do it to Ondo. Let me give you an example. I went for an interview somewhere in the southwest. I'm a Yoruba boy. Southwest is Yoruba.
Yes, I don't
know what they called me. They said the guy from the north because I'm from Kwara State. I'm speaking Yoruba here. And you're saying I'm running.
So that's the point. So is people taking it too far apart? let's look at two towns by each other in let's say Obomanshaw and Ibadan. So
They don't. Oyo and Ibadan.
Oyo and Ibadan.
Oyo and Ibadan.
You could take it of Owo and Ikire. You could take any of these examples. It's gonna be the same. So dividing Nigeria will not solve anything.
If our multi-ethnicity is what is keeping us, and the truth is that the Hausas have a lot of positive, the Igbos have a lot of positive, the Yorubas have a lot of positive, but we're not using it. We're not tapping into positivity.
We're busy antagonizing each other, sabotaging each other because of individual interests.
In the UK, if I want to know anything about business, I'll look for my Igbo friends. You get what I'm saying? I'll look for my Igbo friends. If I want to know, in the UK, I grew up in Nigeria. One of the fallacies I grew up in Nigeria which was that they said anything from, there's a place called Aba in Nigeria. It's
fake,
They
right?
say it's fake. They say it's inferior. That was what I grew
I
up.
used to hear about it.
But when I grew up and I started buying Aba shoe,
You know the funny thing.
when you polish, those are pure leathers. You polish the shoe, they last long for me than the imported shoe that I buy.
They say about made, even if it's not made in Aba, it's just
Just to belittle.
Just to belittle
And
the
it's not the
product.
truth.
It's not the truth.
Truth.
Just to belittle the clothes that were Abba, they are making from Abba. And after a while, I come down like, why are we killing our people?
But
Why
then-
are we killing ourselves?
Here in the Western society, where we hear, oh, made in China, we have that sort of feeling.
but at the end of the day, everything is made in China.
Look around you. Look around you. Look around you. No, just look around you. Tell me.
Even the technology, the camera,
A little bit of digression here. So one of my guys, we were working together in the year. I was a psychiatrist, was a psychiatrist nurse. He was a psychiatrist. He's in America now. He's one of Trump supporters. And it was like, oh yeah, Trump is fighting China. Blah. I was like, why are you like this? See, the hat is selling to you is made in China. The wristwatch, Trump's wristwatch,
The mic is using to.
the man is in China. So why you allow people to just throw you upside down? So this word is very simple, but even them,
yeah.
We just bringing complexity out of something.
yes, we complicate simple things. We divide, and then I say something. The next chapter of Atrocities, we say something. There are people who benefit from this division.
Yeah.
And I could mention name here, I'll mention the girl Farage, about that, I'll mention Donald Trump. And the same thing with like Tinubu and Peter Obi, all of these Atiku and Co, all those leaders, they reap the benefit of division. That's what they do. And then you have the masses who are the ones suffering. They will not divide and be fighting against each other. You guys are supposed to just sit down together and say, how do we get rid of these people that are disturbing our peace? But they turn them based on tribal differences, religious differences, racial differences. Well, whereas Mr. A from Yoruba land, who is steering up Yoruba people against Hausas, and Mr. B from outside who is steering the Hausa up against Yoruba, we go and meet and be like,
Yeah.
cheers to longer days of prosperity.
Let me tell you how sweet Nigeria was when I was growing up. How sweet Nigeria was. There's this, I'm sure if my brother is listening to this, he will know. All my family, they will know. There's this, our neighbor. He's like, I think 1, 2, 3 houses away from us in the quarters. He's somehow from Kano. He was the first person that bought internet satellite dish. He didn't only buy satellite dish. He bought what they call a sender.
Sender, yeah, that's what they do.
So he would, because he's the only one that has it, he sends it to all of us.
Wow, the signal.
It's so wonderful that whenever he doesn't send the channel I want to watch my brother will say, I go and meet you, tell him you're from me. And I'll look at his hand and I say, we want to watch movie or something. That can you help us to
Change the channel because you can only watch
This
one
man
channel.
will not complain. This is how someone, a Yoruba boy coming to meet you. That was how sweet it was growing up then. And they just divided us and messed up the whole country.
They benefit from
Mess up the whole
we
country.
benefit from it. They benefit from it, and we suffer from it. So that's just it. But the factors that are preventing us from being able to see the game being played because they're not playing the game around us. They're using us as the piece, where they call the chess, where they talk, that the fun. So the reason we don't see that the factors include this egocentrism because it just be like that because it's a white man like me. Then he has my best interest at mind. Because he's a Yoruba man like me, he has my best interest at mind.
The first person that taught me how to repair gadgets is an Hausa boy. I never knew him. I just walked into the shop in Kaduna. I walked into the shop. I was wearing my school uniform, and I told him how to learn how to repair. And the guy was excited. He saw me in school uniform, and he took me in and started showing me. That was how I learned how to repair gadgets. I didn't pay a dime for the guy. So when I see what's happening in Nigeria now and reading through this book, you begin to understand that this politics we play with our life is actually destroying us. We have better things to spend together, to do together, as in Nigeria as an entity.
What about in the diaspora?
In diaspora, it's still complex. Because the truth is that you can't mold a vessel and expect the vessel to change because it moves from one part of the country to the other. So some people still came up with come up with this kind of psychological build-up. And if I will tell you the first set of blacks I met, those are blacks that have been Nigerians that have been here in the UK for quite a long. They were very discouraged. Some don't want to accept me as a friend. Some even don't want to expose me to understand how to integrate properly and faster. They kept information from me. It was an Indian man that took interest in me and exposed some of those secrets for me. And that was how I was able to grow very fast in the UK. But my Nigerian people that have been here for many years were very careful to expose those secrets to me. So it still happens. But that doesn't mean that there is no good Nigeria. There are a lot of beautiful Nigerians in the UK who will show. I just give you an example of that my Igbo friend who will give you. He will give. If I will tutor you that look, take this step. And I have a lot of mentors who are Nigerian. But you can't change a man who has already built up a mindset.
I was lucky in a way that I met a man from Burma who was my first some of our Burma. So he describes himself as a Chinese Burmese. He's a very, very kind man. So through him, I was able to quickly rise through too. But I know some colleagues who were working under Nigerians, like you said, a lot of them were discouraging. And so people do use change because they relocate. People they are still moved there, still there.
Okay, I'm going to jump now to chapter 5. The opportunists are in us. Sometimes, especially with my partner, sometimes I get frustrated because I'm like, look, there's an opportunity there. Why don't you think about it? Why don't you do something like it?
Okay, so now this chapter is not talking about opportunities, right? See, this is one of my favorite saying is that it's a Latin say. I don't speak Latin. Let me say it in English. Say favor. Fortune favors the bold. So fortune, I think fortune in the old Roman mythology is a god. So you have the fortuna or something like that. So fortune favors the bold. Opportunity happens to the best prepared. So that's the complete statement, and I love that statement very much. So I am not against taking opportunities, but this book is talking about. So there's this incident that happened, and I told the story that I was in Manchester just down there with my wife and the kids. We went to do NIA, and we met some other Nigerians in the shop. The owner of the cafe was also a Nigerian young man.
Before you continue, tell us what NIN is.
That's Nigeria. That's the ambassador identification number. National identification number. Yeah, so it's in front on the G spider. So So we supposed to do that before we get passport for them, right?
Okay.
And then people, when Nigerians like that together anywhere, they talk about Nigerians. That's what they do. It's because most of us are passionate about the country right now. We just don't know how to help it. So they were talking about Nigerians, and then this man gave a sample of so they're talking about food sellers, food stuff sellers, like why the Pakistanis and the Indians are the one taking over selling African food products in the UK. And then he said he can tell you why. He said the thing is Nigeria Buka, the restaurant owners in the UK, who they will go and buy from the Nigerian store owners, but they buy on credit. So they buy on credit. They keep coming back to buy on credit. And when you ask them for money, they will tell you that they've not full sold anything since money, all those excuses. And then when you decide to take it with them, like in the hard way, like pay my money or I'm not give you again, they will stop coming to you. They'll go and buy from somebody else. So they're still owing you the money. So they turn you to a bad person. They start fighting you. So later they might head up buying from the Pakistani and Indian who will never sell to them on credit. But they've run out their old countrymen businesses. And they don't grow because of the money being owed to them by other Nigerians. And I was like, that sound like Nigerians. so and then the guy in the cafe said that, yeah, we're like that, we are entitled. Like, no, that's not entitlement. That's not entitlement. I say entitlement is not first. It's not something that changes from one place to another. Yeah, an entitled person will be entitled to whatever they are. If that person was an entitled person, if he gets to that Pakistani man shop again, say, yeah, give me on credit. So that's an entitled person because he thinks this is my right. So give it to me on credit. But this is an opportunistic approach to life. It's a predatory approach to life, like a predator. So most predators are opportunistic predator. A lion would never attack an elephant because the elephant will just stamp it to death. What a lion will see. If we lion, when they see a herd of buffalo, they pick up the wood quick. Yeah, okay. So this is an opportunistic approach to life. So that's what we do as Nigerians. We are opportunistic people.
Some Nigerians.
Yes.
Not generalization.
No generalization.
Because the moment you generalize, you're also
wrong.
You're also part of it.
No, sadly, but I'm not gonna exonerate myself and say I'm an opportunistic person, but I'll be wrong. So I said something in this book. The moment you generalize, you are wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
So that
you can't generalize.
Yeah. And that's the generalization too. But the fact that's the generalization. But this goes in a circle. Like the moment you generalize, there always be the exceptional cases of some people who are not like that. There are good Nigerians. I said in the book there are wonderful Nigerians. There are really patriotic Nigerians. It's just we're talking about the majority right here because when you're talking about the unit of a society, which is another chapter in the book, is what the majority brings to the table that will reflect on the generality. So when I say majority here, it's not a full 60-40 kind of situation. It's just that 30-70 for that
privilege.
Yeah, because when you read this book, there's unit of a society. When I talk about that balance, you just need the Gaussian curve or the normal distribution. The moment something is skewed to one side, it's not balanced again, right? So it's just it. And what will skew a Gaussian curve and make it to become it's called a normal distribution, where they become an abnormal distribution. It doesn't take big number. It just take one outlier somewhere. So it doesn't mean that 60% of the Nigerians are bad. It doesn't mean 70% of the Nigerians are bad. It just means that probably we have more bad people and we have lax laws. We have a conducive cultural approach that make people to assist in the natural state of humanity. The natural state of humanity, like my pastor friend here will say, is that we are all sinners, right? Now, the human beings generally are not supposed to be free to do whatever they like. We are not good like that. We are not. So the moment you have that freedom to do as you wish, there will be a problem because people will start taking laws into their hands. and the few ones that try, like he said about.
As they are coming a pastor. It's there in the Bible.
So
In the book of Judges.
yeah, so
They kept going back and doing all the like. God will come and save them. They will still go back and misbehave.
The man, there's no law holding people together. That's what will happen.
Yeah.
And then the few people who are trying to do the right thing, they become targets, or they isolate you.
Well,
So they let you get near the knowledge of what is going to happen, so that you will not make noise about it.
Oh.
So it's not like so we're not saying all the gens are bad. It's just that we have too many bad people and we have a lax system. So now going back to that opportunity in us, now you now look at that person who used all the opportunity to buy on credit from his Nigerian fellows, and then, but after he has run down the business of that fellow, he moved to a Pakistani food seller and start paying for everything he's buying. So the Pakistani food shop is prospering. Our brother here is still struggling to recoup his money from all those who are owing him money. So that's you go to Nigeria, that's what you see. People be opportunistic about everything.
Can you get a good opportunist or a person?
See, you can't be an opportunist and still expect yourself to be described as good.
it's like there are people that take advantage.
Of situation. So those are the opportunists.
Not to the positive, not to the. It's different from people who take
Opportunity.
who make use of the opportunities that come their way. You get it?
See,
So when you say someone is already opportunistic, it's already negative.
it's already negative. So it's gonna be like a moronic expression. So okay, for instance, now I'm driving on the road. I didn't plan to buy a piece of land, but I saw for sale, and it's a good place, and I have the money on me. This is an opportunity. I'll take it. That doesn't make me an opportunistic person. I'm not duping the person I'm buying because I'm prepared to buy it, and this is a opportunity to buy it. But for instance, let me give an example. I see a lady by the roadside, which happens a lot in Nigeria. She's stranded. Oh, fine girl. And that's an opportunity, right, to help somebody. It's an opportunity to help somebody. But I might decide that this is an opportunity to prey on this girl. I'm like, yeah, fine girl, what are you doing out there? Let me help you. And she goes to my car, start talking nonsense that I would naturally be talking to her, if not for the opportunity that presented just for me to help herself. So that's a predatory approach. But I could just twist that around and be like, young lady, are you okay? And says it's okay. Will you guys call me? I don't say anything to her. I don't ask her, and then person just drop her and go. I've helped somebody. That's an opportunity to help somebody. But I could now turn it around. I become a predator and start talking nonsense to a girl that maybe is.
It's just looking at the political arena in Nigeria, for example. You know, people are poor. They're struggling to make. Some people don't even know what they're going to eat the next morning. And then a politician comes and said, okay, I'll give you 5,000 naira. Vote for me. Because he knows that this person does not even know what they are going to eat the next morning.
So why would they care about?
So why would they share 4 years? So he gives them the 5,000, take their vote for them. They go, at least they have food to eat to keep them to survive another 24 hours. That is an opportunistic person.
Yes.
Rather than using your position as a politician to provide food for people to eat so that they can make wise and informed decisions. So those took advantage of their situation.
The opportunity with
that's opportunity.
So I in this book I made a lot of reference to medical scenario. It's just an analogy, and I said that this chapter I said the Yoruba people say something. They say the worm is killing itself, but I think it's killing the dog. The question they asked was like, you had the dog die, where's the worm, where's it still going? And that's the case of opportunistic predators. Opportunistic infection. For instance, this happens mostly in an immunosuppressed person. Is another analogy I can give. So in the body, we have the military, the police of the body, which are the white blood cell, the group white blood cell, all of them. They protect the body against any infection. And then maybe due to HIV or other immunosuppressant situation, the white blood cells are depleted or they've like almost gone. So there's opportunity for bacteria and viruses and fungi to like jubilate and do. So now in our body like this, actually only this is far science. Only 10% of this body is actually human body. Actually, the 90% are symbiote and commensals, virus, bacteria, all of them living together. But the white blood cells are keeping anyone in check. Anyone that want to go against the rule of this body society, the white blood cell will like swallow it up and go and throw it out somewhere. So that's how the body controls this thing. But the moment the white blood cells that are doing this thing are down, the bacteria that is living peacefully in our body, it's feasting on our waste product and stuff. You start looking at the 87, start taking it. That's opportunity now come to start invading the body. Then they destroy the body, right? When the body die, most of them will die with the body too. Anyway, it's just like the worm and the dog in that situation. But that's a classic opportunistic approach to life.
Yeah. And the mindset of all opportunistics is so destructive. I'll give you an example. There was once a minister in Nigeria, and they said the minister embezzled money. And initially, the minister came out and said, "I never embezzled money." But later, the same minister returned back to the government almost $20-something million. $20-something million. Wow. And I asked myself, how many family has this minister put into trouble? Even if you put a lot of family that will have benefited from this money into pain. But and opportunistics don't care. They don't care about that. They care about themselves, what they will get for themselves, and what they keep them in power. And that's why you can see people who are 40, 50 years in power in Africa, and they are still there. And I kept asking myself, you have been in government for 40 years. Your country don't even have a road. They don't have good road network. No, it cannot feed itself.
No electricity.
What are you still doing there?
No clean water.
No clean water. What are you are still relying on aid from the US, from Europe? I said, and you are still there.
What did they do? They invest.
They still embezzle the aid, actually. The aid are still being embezzled.
This opportunity thing, like he said, is a very destructive thing. Like it is to the body, it is to the society. If you look at Nigeria, for instance, you can just use this opportunity in us to see what led us from 1960 to this time. Now, each day, each moment, there will be an opportunity to sort things out and correct this. The refinery is not working. Make it work. Okay, this is money. Go and face it. Everybody pocket the money. Right? So they part one. They say, oh, it's what? Then it didn't work. This is a road. Dualize it. They don't.
So you will go there.
Put the money in the pocket.
Road have still be repaired yearly.
This is money for security. Put it in the pocket. So the military are not well equipped. The police are not well equipped. Not even well manned. We don't even have enough policemen in Nigeria anyway. So, but every year there will be money allocated to those things. But every year we now work up.
In Nigeria, did you ever go to the police barrack in Nigeria?
I do not think so. I did go to an officer's mess.
Okay, you may not understand. Officer mess is still not.
That was Navy.
When I was in secondary school, my colleagues called me police. You know why? I wanted to be a police officer. It was my dream to be a police officer because I felt, yes, I can defend my people. Yes. But by the time I finished secondary school, I told myself it would be a crime for me to go into the police force because when I go to the barrack and I saw the way they live, and then their uniform was so bad that sometimes even the uniform, I told myself, I don't think I can. It deteriorated that bad. Yeah. And rather than repairing the structure, what did they do? They keep changing police uniform. I think that was the problem. But that wasn't the problem. The uniform was not the problem.
The problem.
The uniform wasn't the problem. The problem is there was a friend of mine who was a police officer, and I asked him for a salary. He said he doesn't need salary.
Why?
He said it's whatever enters his account every month that is a salary for that month.
That's if he gets
paid.
That's the way if he gets paid.
To be honest with you, the police and the military, the lower cadre one, they are among the most neglected.
They are brutally neglected. Totally.
the people that are employed, but they are totally neglected because they can't complain. A teacher can complain through NUT, right? Doctors can complain through AMD and LMA. The police can't complain. They will lock you up in the guard room. The military man cannot complain. He will lock you up in the guard room. The military men right now, they are in the war front somewhere inside the bush, not being fed. I can tell you that I'm not there, but I can tell you there's somewhere in Nigeria right now that a bunch of military men that are supposed to defend us don't have food tonight. I can tell you that. I can tell you there'll be someone then that still carrying the weapon we used during the civil war around till now.
I look before I left Nigeria, you know when they say new weapons are being built and all those things, I didn't see Nigerian police officers of military weapons change. It's the same one I met them carrying when I was growing up, that I still met them carrying when I left Nigeria. And you now expect them to fight terrorists who are carrying more sophisticated weapons
Than the weapon.
weapon.
See, it's not just about it's not even about the weapon being a newly infected one. Even most countries are still using AK-47 as their military weapon, right? Most countries are still doing that. But the AK-47 will be the one that was made recently.
Exactly.
Not an
Not the one
expired.
that in 1990s.
No, 1960s. You see, the only group of people that carry real weapon in Nigeria right now are the terrorists and the DSS. So DSS carried this Israeli TAR-21, something like that, 21st century tactical assault rifle that was compressed together. Very good, very.
Now, who are the DSS running after?
They are chasing 419s. They are chasing your own boys around.
And then anybody
that is against the politicians.
politicians.
Those are the people the DSS are after. They are not the people that actually need this weapon are the military men who are in war front, because the most part of Nigeria right now is a war front, but they don't have they have the skill. They are trained, physically fit.
Nigerian militaries are trained. I attended Air Force Secondary School, and I can tell you that Nigerian militaries are well trained. But when the morale is down,
The morale is not there.
Nobody.
The weapon is not there. It's not. You see, even when they have information, intelligence, when they have it, and your commander say no, don't act on that. What do you do?
You can't, yes. So that goes on so from this, I think it ties in with the next chapter.
Yeah.
Here, chapter 7, mental poverty. I read my explanation when something like this. Of course, you had said something prior, so please get the book because this is quite interesting. Greed, stealing, and corruption have nothing to do with mental illness. Let's just expand on it. Yeah, so this mental poverty. So tell us about.
So this mental poverty.
Yes.
So there was a time, which I also stated here. There was a time in Nigeria. You will remember, so we were training as psychiatrists then, and some people came up and say all political officers there and people that are aspiring to be in offices to be assessed, that they should have mental assessment because a lot of our leaders, they behave like they have mental illness. We give the steam things because they don't need it, which is actually very good to take that on.
then behavior or
Yes,
something like that.
like you are not well to be able to steal this more. Why do you need it? You don't even need it. Why you still me? You are not well. So now, and then the professors and we were kids in psychiatry. We have like professors and these people, they say, no, don't use psychiatry as an excuse for misbehavior. That they're not mental, they're aware, they're just greedy people. And I say, yeah, I agree with you. So when there was an interview on the Ekiti TV, not NTA, Ekiti TV, the state TV, and I was invited one of my senior colleagues. He's in probably in America now too. And they asked us, what are your thoughts? And it was my senior, I was already senior because it was senior before me. And he said, Michael, and I said, like our professor already said, stealing, greed is immorality. It's no mental illness. Those are totally different things. So, and then now we now got to a meeting, NMA meeting, the Nigerian Medical Association meeting, and then the presenter was talking about corruption. Okay, the lawyers usually have kids, and of course, it's going to talk about the causes, right? And the two doctors sitting next to me, they say, yeah, poverty is the cause of corruption in Nigeria. I always laugh, like I could laugh now. Yeah, I always laugh if people are saying funny things beside me, right?
Is that funny?
It's funny. So it's very funny. So and I laugh like you did now
I
because
grew up in a poor home, so I know proper poverty was not the problem.
poverty is not the cause of stealing. You know,
Poverty is not the cause of
there are
stealing.
so many banters that lead you to that point. So. And I laughed. And they thought to me, people always like, why is he laughing? You know, they say, the women, we psychiatrists, we are seen as weird people naturally because we think differently, right? That's what made it to actually choose psychiatry most of the time. And I laughed and they look at me, why are you laughing? And I say, because you're saying nonsense. And they say, what do you mean? Say, see, poverty is the outcome of corruption. It's not the cause of corruption. So it's like, and I say, the two of you are doctors. It's like when I say, oh, your body is hot, so you have malaria. I say yes, and I say, we now test. You tested your blood. We now find the Plasmodium falciparum, which is the parasite that causes malaria, and we now find that in your blood. When I say, you know the cause of the Plasmodium falciparum in your blood, I say, what's that? Because your body is hot. Oh, but you know, like,
But the body is hot because of
that.
If the plasmodium is not there, your body you won't have those symptoms. But what we're saying in Nigeria is that the symptom is what is causing the plasmodium.
The symptom is causing the illness, not the illness. That is the. So that's why I said. They now say they look at me. It's for you see. Most doctors are smart people, you know, but thinking in a logical, deeper way. It's not about being smart. So that's another gift entirely. It's another gift entirely to be able to logically analyze things. Being smart, what we call being smart, is reading book and remembering it. So it's a simple one. So they were confused by what I said. So a lot of people get confused when I say something like that. But I said, see, the point is this. If you take corruption out of Nigeria, poverty will drop by half of it.
In less than 2 years, poverty will drop. In fact, in 1 year, in 1 year, poverty will drop because it's the driving force. Corruption is the driving force
Of everything, insecurity, poverty, poor infrastructure, they are.
and it's everywhere. I'll give you an example. I was an executive of an association in the university, in a hospital in Nigeria. And one day I sat down and I saw the food they were serving the patients, and I was nauseated.
Wow.
And because of my position, I went to the medical director and I told the medical director that we are supposed to nurture this patient to health.
No.
I said, but I, as their doctor, cannot even eat this fruit. I said, so how can we give them enough nutrition to nurture them back to health? And you know what the medical director told me? He said, oh, that the people that came from the central office, the health commission, that one of them came and they had to spend a lot of money on the person. Because the person came, it's just like saying CQC came for inspection in an NHS hospital, and then you have to entertain them, you put them in a fine hotel, then you give them honorarium to go back. And I sat down there,
You're supposed to feed your patient.
and I sat there, I was like, this is wrong.
You want to become a personal non grata.
And the guy laughed at me.
You want to become a personal non grata.
He laughed at me. Well, these are
This is how we do it. So now, and when I said to them, and I said, poverty is not the cause of corruption, but mental poverty is a cause of corruption. The question they asked was that was you learn mental poverty? I will be honest with you. That was the first place I coined that in my mind. I'll be honest with you. If you Google the internet right now, you might not find the definition for mental poverty. They will probably tell you that it's paucity, which is a mental which is a schizophrenic symptom. It's not the same thing. What I mean by a mental poverty is a state of mind which has nothing to do with what you really have. It has nothing to do with what you lack. It's just this insatiable greed, hunger to accumulate through any means without considering people who are killed or destroyed along the way. You accumulate just to all the way, not to spend, not to invest, but to all the way, because you are afraid of what will happen tomorrow.
If you don't have the money.
Yes, you are afraid that what if your what if will not drive you to now invest that money productively and employ people. It will drive you to steal money, put it in overhead tanks, steal money, put it in soccerways, put money in trailers, and like the 5 years time the money is rotting because of course money will rot. Money is said yes. So that's mental poverty. Mental poverty is when we make a governor who is earning money that he cannot even tell us, because that's how much the money is. The president of Nigeria cannot tell us how much the salary is. The Senate members cannot tell us honestly how much they earn per month, because that's how much it is. Because unlike we all knew back in Obama's time that the U.S. president was earning $400,000 in a year.
Are you sure? Was it up to that?
I don't know how much you, but that's like a large sum of money for a US president.
I think it's either
Because the UK Prime Minister.
no UK prime minister doesn't earn as much. It doesn't earn as much. It's
Nigeria, they won't tell you how much.
they won't tell you. But then we knew then that the Senate leader was earning 60 million naira per month, which then was the naira was in this week then. A naira was 120, a dollar was 120 naira then. So what our Senate president there was earning in a month, he denied it anyway. But what we heard that he was earning in a month was actually more than what Obama, the president of America, was earning in a year. So that's as bad as it. So is that mental poverty that made them to sit down and allocate to themselves this ridiculous amount of salary, and still at the same time be giving contract out and be asking for kickbacks and be commissioning a non-existent product, stealing so much money. Just let's go back. I'm not going to mention them, but let's go back to one of our previous military leaders who stole so much that we are still getting them back today.
We're still getting
We're still getting the money back today. It was so much that we had. I said in this book, I said we had that the wife said that no matter how much you take back from us, we can never be as poor as Dangote. Wow. That was what he said. The rumor we had. You can imagine how much somebody was stolen that you said no matter what you take back from us, we can never be as poor. Maybe Dangote was in this rich then. But no matter how
what is this boy?
he was already
the richest person in Nigeria.
In Africa.
Nigeria, they had
iPhone in Africa there, as far as there. So you can imagine how much the man must have stolen and eaten away. I'm very sure there will be other ground bunkers somewhere, in many places in Nigeria right now where Naira notes are being piled up. See, during the Buhari attempt to change Naira, when they started reducing money flowing, something happened that made me to almost cry. There was a trailer load of Naira kept by somebody, became rotten, and was discovered when people were queuing with POS to get money, and they were paying 500 naira to POS owner to get 5,000 out of the hand.
I heard that story.
So that's mental poverty, because you do not need it. You don't need it. So and I clarify this further. Like you said, it's from a poor background. I am from a poorer background than you. So, but
I'm actually Richard.
Yeah, but whatever. And then my mind has always been creative in a way, and I would think of possible ideas of actually making money, and I will look at it and I will ask myself, what in 30 years time when I have a son and he's inquisitive like me and he said, Dad, how did we make our money? And I'm not able to actually tell him the true story. And I said, no, I'm not going to do this. And that was what kept me from ever laying my hand on anything that I cannot tell the story.
Yes. Yep.
But is that mental poverty is what stops you from being able to think that way to the point of being creative with wealth. So be creative with wealth. Like, okay, you can say, Bill Gates also started from 1,000, he made million, then he became billionaire, he accumulated wealth. But you can say the same thing about Elon Musk. But these are people who were producing. They were innovating.
They can account for the money.
They can account for how they get their money. And it's not just that, my friend. It's not just that. You can account for money and say, yeah, I sued Mr. A and I got 3 million from him. That's the accountable. But this Bill Gates was developing PC, Windows, and was going to so many things. The plan was to put a computer in every home, which he achieved, right? And they even made it so small now that you can put a computer in your pocket. They innovated, and the universe rewarded him for his innovation. Elon Musk, as much as I disagree totally with him now, he innovated from paper to SpaceX to Tesla and everything. He innovated. People are driving. You are driving electric car, I'm driving electric car. Nobody thought about electric cars.
Elon Musk started the old trial about.
Yeah, he made it to become a household thing that, electric car is a possibility, self-drive car is a possibility. So they innovated and the universe rewarded them with wealth worth billions of dollars. But you, Mr. Lagbaja in Nigeria, you wanted to be rich like that, but your only way of doing it is to be the CBN governor and just be printing money and be keeping it in random places, build 730 houses where you will never live.
Allegedly.
I didn't mention anything. So I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying this about Lagbaja, right? So now, this is part of what I said.
It's true.
Each of those
is alleged.
is alleged in Nigeria. Allegedly, So now you look at you just go to countrysides in Nigeria and you see buildings.
I've seen the documentaries.
You see buildings that nobody's living in. Buildings worth billions of naira that nobody's living in. And you ask, who was the guy? He's a DG somewhere. The minister of something in Abuja. He was the first something of something. He was the deputy governor somewhere. They build houses.
Where they get those money?
They build houses that they will never live in. See, human, our needs are very, very limited. But our wants are insatiable. Right now, I'm not going to wear more than this. And when I change this, I will wear another one. This one will be free somewhere. Which means that if I have 6 chains of cloth, I have to be fine until maybe 6 months time I decide to change them again. I can only drive one car. If me and you were living close and I go to the same place, we can use one car successfully without any stress. So any other car that I have is a waste of money. Especially in a country like this. In Nigeria, it's very easy. You can park 20 cars in your car, nobody question you. But in a country like this, when you pay tax for a car, then you don't.
Be careful before you buy it.
So just every people say, garage in Nigeria, you see cars. Who are you? I'm a senator. And you have like 30 Lamborghini. Allegedly. I love them, right? And then you build house in Abuja, you build one in Lagos, you build one in your state, you build one in your wife's state. And you're only living in Abuja. Or maybe you're even living in UK. So all these things, they are all signs of mental poverty. When you start taking things that you don't need, you are mentally poor.
Not investment.
You can never be satisfied. That's the difference between the poverty with the two of us we say we experience and mental poverty. So I was poor. I could barely afford things. I tell my wife, I say some things that I look at are very basic that made me to appreciate life. Milk, honey, egg. Okay. Where do you want to see this from?
Let me tell you how bad it was. You know this custard, the Nigerian type of custard which we call pap.
Yeah.
In my house, if we are drinking pap, they'll give us 2 cups of sugar.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you won't want to put the cup of sugar into
Buy
the
the
pap.
sugar, man.
Because if you put it, the taste will be gone. You will not feel the sweetness. So what you do is you take a spoon of
full of
custard, Nigerian custard, and then you take the sugar and bite it.
Now,
You guys are poor, man.
now, he could afford sugar. The only time I got to use sugar was when I moved in with my older sister, who pretty school was a teacher. But my family, we could not afford that. We buy a car, and then you're something, and you say, God, I thank you for this today. Now, the difference between a mentally poor person and a really poor person, like a financially poor person, is the fact that the financially poor person can actually get out of that poverty
Yes.
by working and making money. He will get to a point in his life, and he only tell story of when I was poor. That we are talking about when we used to be poor now. But a mentally poor person, if he's here in this room, he's thinking of what he's going to get from this. We've not discussed what does this mean for anybody more than the fact that we're just talking about my bill, right? But for a mentally poor person, so how much are you going to pay me?
Yes.
So what will you make from this? So that's a mentally poor person. Because
And then they will go out, they will go up and check how many people have viewed your podcast. And they're like, you made a lot of money. You should have paid me this. You should have paid me that.
So that's mental poverty. It's totally different from person who is financially in deficit. He can escape his poverty. You can escape your real poverty. You just work hard and be honest with between you and your God as much as you can. You get out. But a mentally poor person will put billions away in Canada, billions away in this one, and then put some billion in the Ohio tank in his house, and you fall dead one day, and those money nobody will need to trace them out. But mentally poor person, they cause so much havoc in Africa generally. Like
you look at is it Burkina Faso or someone that the president has a house in France, but he doesn't have up to 300 kilometers of third road in his country. And I can't remember which country. Let me not mention name, but and the person has been ruling for years, and I'm just like, so what are you really doing there? If you are not making the life of your people better, but they are actually enriching themselves, and they keep, like you said, mental poverty, you keep accumulating. It's like pouring water in a basket. You keep pouring the water, and the basket will never get full. It's different from
psychological basket. It's psychological basket. It's like psychological basket because it's like this book. I pick this topic, each of them specifically, because if each of them, you can tackle them differently, but you realize that they all work together. Like the opportunity in us leads to a lot of corruption. But if you are not a mentally poor person and you get the opportunity and you steal money, let's say you even steal money, you're like, this one is enough now for me and my family, and you leave the system or you start doing good, right? Yes. But it's the mental poverty that makes you to now go like, I say something here. I say something. I say like it's gonna be like we definitely say this is not normal. If, for instance, I see $1 billion and I stole it because I was afraid that what if I lost my job? What if this thing? What if my wife was his job? How will I manage my property? And I see $1 billion. Oh yeah, that's $1 billion. You count $1 billion, you will realize that. I did all the calculation anyway, but the number of minutes you have in your life is not up to 1 billion. so it's if you are counting 1 billion, you are physically counting 1 billion. You will be counting until you die. You are just like 1, 2, 3, 4. You will not finish counting 1 million in years. So just imagine you now say 1 million. What 1,000 million is 1 billion. So you now say. It's dollar, it's not even naira. You now carry $1,000 million.
What do you want to use it for?
What do you want to use it for? $1 million right now. $1 million.
They don't have investment. They don't have any reproduction. They're not producing anything in Nigeria.
In anywhere.
That will benefit.
In anywhere that will benefit anybody in this world. So $1 million right now is almost 2 billion naira. Just to bring that to perspective, right? It's like 1.5 now, right? So that's 1.5 billion naira is $1 million. But you now steal 1,000 of that. And you now look at it and now say, this is good. This is good job. You now say this is another 3 billion lines somewhere. We're supposed to do the road. We're supposed to do the road and hospital and this. What if I finish 1 billion? What if I finish this 1 billion? Bring that 3 billion. Yeah. Just take this or go and work on that. Bring the rest. And I stole 3.4 billion. And then your state, the schools don't have roofs.
Have you seen Nigerian schools out there?
But it's been a long time.
You just need the video, don't go there. So the hospitals don't have beds. The doctors are using a lantern to operate in your hospital. No oxygen in the hospital, no light. That's why they're using lantern to operate.
So where did the leaders go when they fall
Of course,
ill?
they
Oh, you know where they come
that's
to.
what they said. That's what I said.
You don't know where they come to. Where did your previous
Where did Brian
president
die? When Brian died in London.
He died in London. I was telling somebody, I said, Ima is even afraid of dying in a Nigeria hospital. That should tell you how bad they've seen Nigeria hospital.
He's just to die, but he could not happen to that.
Die in a Nigeria hospital. It's a shame. Do you know that UCH, University Teaching Hospital in Ibadan, I think I was going through the hospital one day and I saw this picture of white people who built the church. I mean, who built the hospital. And I was asking someone about the history. And they said there was a time that Saudi prince comes for treatment there.
Yeah,
Yes, it was that good.
was that good?
It was that very good.
I think it was modeled after one university.
Yeah, I think maybe Cambridge or something. I can't remember it again. It was that good. Our medicine in Nigeria is one of the best in the world. The way we are trained in Nigeria, you can fit into any system in the entire world, and I'm proud to say that.
Yeah.
That's the way we're trained. I'm proud to say that.
That's not just bragging. That's just practice. That's practice. If you go to the US today, you remember the personal doctor in Clinton. He was trained in Ife. Yeah.
Do you know Nigeria? We're so good that if you come to me with symptoms, I will almost 80 to 90% diagnose your condition.
Precisely.
That's how we're trained.
Yeah.
Because there was no equipment. So you were trained to use your clinical instincts and your judgments and your knowledge. You combine the three together and make sure that the patient in front of you does not suffer beyond what they've suffered before coming to see you. So your mind, your eyes, your ears are all at alert. If your patient shake in front of you, you want to know why they're shaking. If they have a twitch, you want to know why they are twitching, so that you can bring everything together and help that patient. We were trained that intensively. We don't have the equipment. The MRI that we do, when we left Nigeria, MRI was a loss with them. But we have a government that is buying private jets.
Yeah.
You get it? You see where the priority is. We have a government that is buying yachts. And all those money you spend on those things can be spent in our hospital. And then another propaganda you see is that they'll say we're giving you free health. But we that work in the hospital know that it's not free health. Because you come to the hospital, you have to pay. You pay for your drugs, you pay for so many things. That's not free health. That's not what we enjoy in the NHS. That's why working in NHS, I used to look at the way the NHS is treated. I was like, they mustn't lose this NHS system.
The point is that you never actually appreciate what you have. That's why the British people we talk about
The NHS is a big treasure. It's better than any treasure you can ever think of. It must not be lost. Because we that have seen the other side knows that.
Yeah. So that's mental poverty. Gender poverty is the reason a governor will rather bury billions of naira or dollar under his buildings than build hospital.
There was a guy then allegedly that actually had an AC in a room where he stored the money.
Wow.
To keep it cool so that it will not get this.
Interest.
And he has dollars, he has pounds, he has naira there. And I was like,
There were so many people. I mean, there were these workmen that are digging places in was it East now, and they broke into this sockaway and they met Ghana must go bath of cash inside the sockaway. The sockaway was not connected to any drainage system; it was just built to a Kimon. And I've had instances in maybe Ibadan places where the overhead tank McKinney Plastic was actually loaded with money. And like I mentioned to you, I saw the video of that trailer and I was saying your customers, but they can't ticket. So that's what we do with the money that we are supposed to. You see, buying private jet, we can see the point. You can actually still buy private jet and might talk to that country. What like UAE, for instance, the leaders of UAE, they are living flamboyant life, but they are not bearing money. They are not taking money to be stored away in Switzerland. they build their land up and they enjoy their life. In Nigeria, our leaders could actually live larger than life and still make that cause good. It's because they don't care. Like, so everything just merged into each other. That the fact that the years are not fancy, nobody care about Nigeria, and that egocentric person, that's egocentrism that goes beyond.
This is a difficult thing to speak.
So you can see that the opportunity sticks in us, and then coming to that mental poverty, everything just merge together and to create a non-functioning or workable system. The system is not workable. There's no way you can make Nigeria work the way it is, because I was speaking to what I attended the same university with you. We know you, if I mention his name. I was speaking with you today, and then he told me that there was this guy now that was transferred to one of the federal hospitals, and then the MD did something like maybe both MRI wasn't working because they didn't get the good one, they didn't want. So this guy petitioned Abuja. Beautiful letter to Abuja. Then they called the MD like, it seems like you have a troublesome person working with you now. You should settle him. He's raising hell with us every day. So the MD already knew this guy. They would say, that guy will not take anything from you. He didn't get it number. I've spoken with him. He's not going to take anything from you. So they said, okay, ignore him. This guy didn't stop. He went to Abuja and said, we thought he had the pull to go to Abuja and complained directly to the ministry that that thing I talk about is not working. And I've talked to the MD so much, not doing anything about it. Then they say, Mr. Babada, you see your family property? Yeah, relax.
That's what they will finally tell us. It's not
take your own share. Take your own share. Why are you doing like? And the man said, no. What do you take me for? You know, like a typical. I talk about people like that in this book, the typical good person who would not take bribe. And then they said, okay, don't worry, we'll do something about it. What did they do? They transfer him to a hospital where he need to drive 3 hours to every day. Wow. And there's nothing going on there. So he can't complain about anything. Now, the man he'd be happy with himself that he's too on the side of the truth, right?
Yeah.
But I can tell you, his wife might not see face to face with him. So I was like, hey, your wala is too much. That's why he landed us a disturbance. You should have taken the money and keep quiet. Even if he did not take him, why not just keep quiet?
Like Job wife,
They're like the wife of Job.
So I can assure you, somebody in this family will be telling him that right now. That'd be like, told you are still stubborn. See, this way your stubbornness led you to. That's more most Nigeria, not all Nigeria, but most Nigeria would test.
Not only the wife, even the family.
That's what I'm saying.
The family, they were like
relative, right?
Some people rejoice when their family member gets political posts because they were like, yes, it's our turn now.
Yeah.
I knew you are not being honest.
I was like, what is your turn then?
You cannot be honest. You kind of person you are trying to be honest. Are you the only
And
one?
it seems to be the case in Nigeria when it comes to presidential elections. Whose time is it? Is it
There's certain, you see, Hausa or the Yoruba or something like that. It's the same with governorship, and it's the same with the chairman of the local government. It's the same with the councillor in the wards. So it's the same thing. It's the same.
There's a local government area. I won't tell you some details about it, but we noticed that the only time you see the staffs around is when the end of the month. There's salary to be paid.
I've seen local government. I don't.
And unfortunately for me, one day I was taking picture because I saw there's a fuel station in the local government that was built by the British before independence. So I saw it was very nice. So I wanted to take a picture.
And the person
because I was like, I need to keep this memory. As I was taking the picture, somebody just walked up to me and like, what am I doing? So I had to show them my ID card. I won't tell you what I was doing there. That look, I'm just taking this picture for memory because I was like, I've not seen this kind of petrol station, and this is iconic. This is something historic to me. Oh, they took me from that place to the chairman of the local government office. I now have to show them my ID card, explain to them I'm working, this is where I work, this is who I am. So the moment he realized I was a doctor and everything, he was like, oh, okay, that they were just wondering. I said, no, I'm not a journalist.
They, like he say, I know where he's talking about. A lot of government, they don't have headquarters. They meet under a tree. They share what they call that thing at the end of the month. Allocation. So they share the allocation at the end of the month, and that's the end of.
I hope it's not like that again, but
I hope so. But that was what it was for.
was
Like,
what
like a good decade, like a good decade when they're starting up. Yeah. So that's Nigeria for you. That the money that's meant to make road is being shared and being taken to personal private pockets. So that's the mental property is a property that
the book is good.
Yes, it's very good. See, time is upon us, but we can always come back again to continue, because the one that I really as well wanted to talk about is chapter 9, but we have to come
what
back.
else by that day? Those who wish are dead.
Yes, those
We shot them. No, that's that one. We need to talk about that.
Yeah, we need time.
And if you don't mind, I will go scripturally about it whenever we.
This.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about
No,
it.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just listening
me too.
Yeah,
I just spoke about it with a friend of mine living in Kaduna currently about that chapter.
Okay, you see.
We just
And
discussed
see
it.
my friend, he's not able to tell me that he's proud of me. Yeah, like the funny thing was that I'm still a psychiatrist. Most doctors we have this approach to life, right? So there was this older Nigerian psychiatrist in the UK. He's been here since 1919. Just to give you an idea of how old the Nigerian, and then he's working here since then. So and then I was working along with him in my last post, and I told him, say, I call him Chief. That's what we call our senior colleagues. Chief is far older than me, so far. Now I say, Chief, I wrote a book. Go say, how do you have the time for that? That's some people always ask doctors when you do something else. And he, yeah, I did. And I gave him the title. Say, yeah, I'm actually going to Nigeria next week. I will read it on the plane. So he bought it and he read it, and he came by and say, that's very impressive. And I say, yeah, this is the best compliment I've got concerning the book, that somebody who knows better than me is forcing to
Hope. I'd force it here. How do I not hoping?
I wasn't open anything. I was just doing practical. I mean, hope is good.
Hope is good.
Hope is
We need.
we will talk about that chapter of hope too, so that people will.
Yes, we will get there.
But it's doing good talking about this.
Hope is a driving force.
Actually, the very good discussions today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. So please look out for the book. Where can people find it?
So the book is on Amazon.
Okay.
So you can order it on Amazon. You can get it in iBook. That's and then it's also available in Nigeria. But that's gonna be like you. If you go to, we have a Facebook page actually. So if you go to the Facebook page, you get the instruction on how to get it in Nigeria. It's actually cheaper in Nigeria because when you convert pounds, dollar to naira, it becomes big money. So you have to think of that when you're selling this in Nigeria. So you can get it cheaper in Nigeria. Just a phone call.
So I can tell my people to buy it from me in Nigeria.
Yeah, if you see that you're still buying from me, so it's all the same. So you can get it on Amazon. You can order it on Amazon. It's not yet on Audible. Hold on, that boy. So the Amazon is on Barnes and Noble and all those. If you're in America, you get it in all these. If you go to an American bookshop, you get it there. They will have it to you. Yeah. Australia, Canada is everywhere.
The Atrocities of Hope, an analysis of the Nigeria problem. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've been inspired. Thank you very much, Dr. Michael. Thank you very much, Dr. Suraju. And also, I want to thank the manufacturers of this beautiful coffee table. It's called Parabolic, and it's a coffee table you can assemble yourself. No screws or glues, just like a jigsaw. There's no nail, and it looks very very solid. Yes. The link is on the screen, and it's by a company called Machined. They make bespoke architectural furniture. So thank you very much for watching. We hope that you've been inspired. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I will see you again for part 2.
Yes, definitely.
I really want to talk about our village people.
Our village, you guys.